The late 4th, early 5th century was a turbulent time for the Roman Empire. It had been less than 100 years since Christianity had become the religion of the nation. During that time, the empire had permanently split into eastern and western halves, and the western half was crumbling to pieces. Now, it had been on a slow death spiral for centuries, but it all came to a head on August 28, 410 CE, when Alaric, king of one of the Gothic tribes, invaded and sacked Rome. The eternal, invincible empire was defeated. Voices that had once been muttering began shouting that Christianity was the reason the empire was falling. Now, the reason they said this was because up until that time, Christianity had been a pacifist religion, taking seriously Jesus' command to turn the other cheek and pray for and love those who persecuted you. Before Christianity became the dominant religion of the empire, a believer serving in an army was almost completely unheard of. Even after that, the Canons of Hippolytus, which is a Christian text written around 340 CE or so, reluctantly admits that yes, a Christian can serve in the army, but insists that they may not kill anyone. As the Western Roman Empire fell, people began to say that this pacifism, as well as Christianity's belief in only one God, not many, was to blame for the fall of the Roman Empire. After all, how could Rome itself, the eternal city, have fallen if the Christian God was so powerful? Surely this was a rebuke against Rome for rejecting its pagan roots. Even Christians were starting to question how God could have let this happen and whether they could remain pacifists while they watched their empire get destroyed. Christianity needed a response, and it got one through the greatest thinker of his age, Augustine. Augustine was the Christian bishop of the city of Hippo in North Africa, modern-day Annaba in the country of Algeria. As he watched helplessly from across the Mediterranean Sea, invading armies slowly destroyed his nation, working year by year closer and closer toward his own city. His world was burning before his eyes. And as he watched it happen, he wrote one of his greatest works as a way to explain it all. It's called The City of God. And in it, Augustine reimagines all of history as a massive battle between the people of God and the forces of this world and the fallen, perverted angels who are with it. And in this battle, Augustine said that Christians have a right to defend and fight and even kill for the state in a just war that is on the side of the city of God. And that phrase, a just war, changed the world. Suddenly, Christians had a moral cover for committing violence, and Christianity was never the same again. Now, Augustine only began a basic understanding of this concept, but people latched onto it and refined it over time. The medieval philosopher Thomas Aquinas brought it into what's pretty much its modern form today. And he said that there are basically 6 characteristics that would make a war just and therefore a godly thing for Christians to participate in. First, is the authority issuing the war just? I.e., is it a legitimate authority? Is this a legal process? Second, is the cause just? Is there some grievous wrong that can only be righted through war? Third, are your intentions right? Are you going there to attempt to help somebody or to get something for yourself? Fourth, is war a last resort? Have all other options been expended in attempting to solve this problem? Fifth, is this war proportional? Are you using an amount of force in this war that makes sense given the problem that you're trying to solve? And sixth, is the war discriminating? Meaning, does it differentiate between civilians and citizens in who you are attacking? If those characteristics are met, then the just war theory says that anyone who participates in that war will be innocent of wrongdoing, pretty much no matter what happens. Christianity had found a way to go to war and still call itself Christian. And while a few groups would hang on to pacifism throughout the centuries, never again would the church be united as an instrument of peace. If you have any doubt about how deeply this theory has influenced and infiltrated the church and Western society even to today, watch this video of George W. Bush announcing the start of the war in Iraq, and count the number of criteria for the just war theory that he uses.
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger. On my orders, coalition forces have begun striking selected targets of military importance to undermine Saddam Hussein's ability to wage war. More than 35 countries are giving crucial support. Every nation in this coalition has chosen to bear the duty and share the honor of serving in our common defense. I want Americans and all the world to know that coalition forces will make every effort to spare innocent civilians from harm. We have no ambition in Iraq except to remove a threat and restore control of that country to its own people. Our nation enters this conflict reluctantly, yet our purpose is sure. The people of the United States and our friends and allies will not live at the mercy of an outlaw regime that threatens the peace with weapons of mass murder. We will meet that threat now with our Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, and Marines, so that we do not have to meet it later with armies of firefighters and police and doctors on the streets of our cities. We will defend our freedom. We will bring freedom to others, and we will prevail. May God bless our country and all who defend her.
If all of this seems normal today, if killing to bring about peace and in the name of the Prince of Peace makes sense, remember, it's only normal because of how Augustine reacted to the collapse of the Western Roman Empire in 410, and how he attempted to rally the Christians to defend their dying empire. As always, hope you enjoyed this episode. Have a great day. See you next video.